Hello people, today I'm back in Minecraft and I'm going to show you two different redstone clocks that are powered by pistons, and they are really cool. So yeah, cue the intro. Wait a minute! Alright, so the first clock I'm going to show you is the game tick clock that I made. So basically what it does is it produces a 1 game tick pulse every 2 game ticks. So it goes 1 game tick on and 1 game tick off, which is really fast. It is in fact the fastest possible redstone clock that you can actually make. So yeah, this is pretty good. And it runs off some very simple principles. But first, I have to clarify a little bit. Now, just to clarify, 1 game tick is not the same as 1 redstone tick. Now, a redstone tick is produced by a 1 tick repeater set at this setting, so that produces 1 redstone tick of delay, but a game tick is half of a redstone tick, so that's 1/20th of a second, and it's the minimum delay in Minecraft. So if I slow the game down a little bit, and I flick this lever, you can see that, this piston turns on first, and then the blue piston, and then the green piston. And so basically what happened is this blue piston turned on 1 game tick after this red piston. However, this green piston turned on 1 redstone tick after this red piston, which means that this 1 game tick delay is a lot faster than 1 redstone tick delay. So yeah. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's actually turn this thing on. And as you can see, it works. And these pistons are just pulsing onto this redstone line consecutively, so it's a pretty simple concept. However, you will notice that this redstone line isn't visually turning on and off, so I can't really prove that it's actually pulsing, right? So normally I would just use a piston to try and prove that it's turning on and off, so let's slow this down a bit. And as you can see, the piston head is just doing this weird movement where it moves halfway and then suddenly teleports to the other side and starts retracting. However, this piston isn't actually fast enough to withstand this much pulsing, so it's not really showing all of the pulses. So I can't really prove that it is indeed pulsing that many times per second, which is 10. So we're gonna use a note block instead to do that. And as you can see, it is indeed, if I slow it down, pulsing very fast, and yeah, it is pulsing 10 times per second. However, an even better option to demonstrate this would be to use a door, which is pretty cool. And as you can see, it's making very loud noise right now. It's making noise 20 times per second, as opposed to 10 times on this thing, because the note block only triggers on the rising edge, so 1 time every time it pulses, but this one triggers 2 times every time it pulses, because it opens and closes. However, you will notice that it's not physically opening and closing, and you can't actually walk through it. Yeah, it's still making the noises. That's pretty weird. So, does this clock have any practical uses?
No!
I mean, you could make an alarm kind of thing using the note block, as it triggers extremely quickly. However, the pistons will likely drown it out anyway, because there's like 4 pistons plus an extra one. So it doesn't really have any practical uses, but it's just fun because this is the fastest possible piston clock you can ever create, so. Okay, so this next redstone clock is a little bit more wacky and weird, so yeah, just keep that in mind, but I'm going to show you the setup now. These are 2 smart pistons that are facing towards each other with a block in it. And a smart piston is basically a piston that pushes the block automatically whenever a block is in front of it. Since they're facing into each other, what do you think will happen? Now make a guess, and 3, 2, 1, go. It's so weird. This piston head is literally clipping through the block, which is not moving at all. So yeah, what do you think is happening? Okay, let me clarify a little bit further so you get an understanding of how this works. So these are not only just smart pistons, these are 0-tick smart pistons. And 0-tick smart pistons generate a 0-tick pulse, which is a pulse that turns on and off in the same game tick. And yeah, these redstone lines don't visually do any. However, they are generating 0-tick pulses every single 3 game ticks. And when a sticky piston receives a 0-tick pulse, it actually extends instantly. So let me show you here. If I slow down the game, you can see that they actually extend instantly, which is pretty cool. But what that means is that this block, once extended by this piston, actually teleports to this block instantly. So what happens now? This block is now solid in this block. So it triggers these set of pistons to zero tick again. So it zero ticks it back across into this piston head, which is still retracting. So it looks like the block isn't moving because it just went from here to here, then back instantly. And that's what's wacky about zero tick stuff. It makes stuff that's seemingly physically impossible possible. So now something else to notice is that these two outputs generate two identical pulses that are actually slightly behind each other. And I won't go into detail, but what this means is that you can hook these up to two pistons that are firing into the same block. And look what happens. They go through each other, just like this block is. So these two that are going through each other, one of them is actually firing before the other, which means that when the first one is not solid anymore, the second one can pulse, and it causes this weird visual glitch that looks impossible, but it's actually possible. So this is the same setup, but with 4 pistons. So yeah, I had to put some rails here to redirect the lines so that they don't like power each other or anything, but nothing else has changed. It's just the same old pistons, but with 4 of them instead. And when I power this on, just like the other one, the block stays in the same place. However, it goes all the way across and back instantly. So it goes in this loop. And because there are 4 pistons, what you notice is that there are actually 4 pulses instead of 2 firing consecutively. So that means that we can make something like this. But watch this. Look at these pistons. These pistons are all firing at the same time into the same block, and nothing is happening. They're just doing their work. They're going through each other. And it's really cool as well. Just seriously, these slow-mos are like insane. I really like this. It's just the cool thing with zero tick mechanics. You can just do whatever you want and go crazy. But yeah, that's about all I have to say about these clocks. They're really cool. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it quote-unquote informative, even though all of these clocks are just for fun. But yeah, anyways, cue the outro. Bye.